Hello, welcome to Learning to Drum. I'm your host, Adam Tevlin, and last week we reviewed the single drag tap. We also learned a new rudiment, the Ratamacue, and we've also completed study number 16. We are in week 38, episode 35. Welcome back, and if this is your first time watching, go back to episode 1. You know the story. And this week we have study number 17, and you may have looked over that beforehand, which might be good for you, but if not, that's okay. That's why we're here. We're here to learn it. And also review the Ratamacue and possibly a test, okay? That's right. These tests aren't too much pressure for you. There's just something to give you a goal so you have something to look forward to, okay? So if you can go faster than that, that's great. If you can't get up to that speed, that's okay. You know, that's just where you're at, okay? And just keep a positive attitude and keep working towards your goal there. And we'll do digga digga first, okay? And we'll do 80 first, and then we'll do our test goal. All right, and I got the eighth notes going on, okay? Because that is our common denominator, remember? Okay, there we are. Do you still have to look at the music? I hope not. All right, here we go. 1 at 80, 2, 1 and 2, and here we go. And okay, no big deal, okay? Hopefully you got that. And for our test tempo, which is at 90, we'll try that. You ready? Here we go. A little faster, right? 1, 2 for the test. 1 and 2, and here we go. And there it is, okay? So how did you do on that? And again, this exercise is to get you to differentiate between the regular 16th notes and triplet 16th notes. We've identified that that common denominator is the 8th note, so hopefully you're locking into that. Okay, now for Digga Digga Darz. Okay, so Digga Digga Darz, we're gonna go back down to 80, or do you wanna do 70? Let's try 70 first. We'll do 3 different tempos there. Okay, and I'm gonna get my 16th notes back up there. Huh? Okay, not too bad, okay? That, right? Here we go. 1, 2, 1 and a 2, and ready and a go and a. Okay, no big deal on that. Hopefully you're there at least at 70, but let's try 80. Okay, here we go. Get the feel of that? Here we go. 2, 1 and a 2, and ready and a go and a. Okay, and now for the test tempo of 90. Relax, you know, no difference between the 16th notes and the doubles. And you're just doing that drop catch, push pull, open closed, whatever you want to call it. Okay, right? Here we go. 1, 2, 1 and a 2, and here we go. And all right, how'd you do on that? So right there, you're able to play rolls somewhat at a decent tempo, okay? And that's something that this warm-up really does for you. It just brings you up to that level of, oh, okay, wow. I can diddle wherever I want if I played a bunch of 16th notes, okay? We learned that from the drag exercise, which I still hope you're working on. Don't let that go, okay? All right, that is the test for the Digga Digga Darz and Digga Digga, okay? So continue to work on that. If you've not gotten up to that tempo, or even if you're there, continue to work on it faster. So maybe you want to bump up the tempo to like 100 or 110 or even 120. So keep going with that, okay? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and review the Ratamacue. We learned that last week. I'm going to dial my metronome to 100. We'll start there. And dialing down my 16th notes and upping my triplets. Okay, there's 100. Okay, here we go. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Okay, no big deal. All right, so now at 110, let's try to play it there. Just 10 more beats higher. Here we go, starting on the left. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Okay, good. All right, hopefully you got that. Now up to 120, and we'll go up to 130 if that's okay with you. Here we go. 2, here we go. How'd that work out for you? Okay, cool. So let's try to do 130. There it is, 130. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Okay, all right, cool. So again, our test goal is going to be at 150, and yes, you can play these Ratamakes with a buzz and the drag, okay, if it's required, okay, and that's the important thing. If the music requires you to play a closed drag, then do it, okay? For the most part, though, for you and those who are really just beginning with the Ratamacue, is to try to keep that drag as open as possible. Okay, even though that the drag is still low, you should be able to play a double stroke roll at that volume too. So yes, you want to practice Digga Digga Darz at a piano level, right? Okay, so with that given said, that's going to help you out with those Ratamacues. And now, without further ado, let's go to study number 17 there on page 40, and we just have more 3/4 time rhythms there, a little bit more complex because we're dealing more with the 16th notes and now with the triplets and triplet 16th notes. So I'm going to dial my metronome to, let's do this stuff at 70, you know, just a little bit slower. And that way, because you've obviously played these rhythms before, but since we're in a new time signature, they're a little bit more complex rhythms, we're going to slow it down there just a little bit more. And I'm going to dial my 16th notes up so you can hear that. And also, don't forget to dial your metronome beat mark on 1 of every 3. Okay, so before we were in 4/4 time, and that would be the high click on every 4. Now we want that high click on every 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So number 1 is going to sound like this. 1, a 2, and a 3, and 1, and a 2E, a 3, and a 1, and a 2, and 3E, a 1. Okay? So we're not going to repeat this just for saving time. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 1, ready, play. 3E and 1, and a 2E, a 3, and a 1, and a 2, and 3E, a 1, and 2, and 3, and okay? No big deal on that. All right, now number 2, and a 2, and 1, and a 2E, and a 1E, and 2, and 3, and 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, and play. E and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and 1, and a 2, E and a 3, and a 1, E and 2, and 3, and a 1, and 2, and 3, and. Okay? Notice how I say the ands in between those quarter notes there. All right. So number 3, we got 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and E and a E a 3 E and E a 2 3. Woo! Okay. It's a little tricky, but if you can't get this at this tempo, then of course slow it down. Make sure you understand these rhythms. Here we go. Number 3, 2, 3, 1 and a 2 and play and 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and E and a 3 E and E a 2 E and a 3 E and a. Okay, cool. All right, number 4, 1, a 2 E and a 3, a 1 E and 2, a 3, a 1 E and 2, a 3 E, 1, a 2, 3. Okay, watch out for that third measure. 2, a 3 E, right? Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 1, and a ready and play and 1, a 2 E and a 3, a 1 E and 2, a 3, a 1 E and 2, a 3 E, 1, a 2, a 3, and. Okay, cool. All right, now I'm going to dial off my eighth notes and 16th notes and bring up my triplets, because on number 5 we have just quarter notes and triplet eighth notes, and that should be easy for you, so we shouldn't have any problems with that. Same tempo, right? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, play, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No big deal on that, right? But it's a different time signature, so it's a little bit different of a feel as if you were to play that stuff in 4/4, okay? All right, number 6, I'm going to dial off my triplets, because now I have a mixture of eighth notes and triplet eighth notes. So I want to make sure I get that common denominator, as we were talking about earlier, which is that quarter note in this case scenario, not the eighth note, okay? Okay, so feel those. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, triplet, 2, triplet, 3, triplet, okay? Here we go. 1, 2 and 3 and 1, ready and play and 1 and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2. Okay, good. Okay, number 7, I'm going to dial my eighth notes back up. Dot, da da dot, dot, da 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 dot, dot, da da dot, da 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 dot, da da dot, dot, da 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 dot, and 3 and. Woo, that's hard to count, as you know. I have a hard time doing that. That's okay. Here we go. 2, 3 and 1 and ready and play and. And 3 and. Okay, cool. All right, number 8, more mixture of triplet 16th notes and eighth notes. Okay, it goes digga da digga da dot, digga da dot, 1, digga da 2 and 3, digga da dot, digga da digga da dot, digga 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 dot, digga da dot, and 3 and. Here we go. Number 8, 3 and 1 and ready and play and. And 3 and. Good. Okay, hopefully you got that. Just like I said, work on those eighth notes and triplet eighth notes with that common denominator quarter note, right? And then same thing with the triplet 16th notes and the regular 16th notes, being that eighth note as the common denominator, so you can really execute those rhythms well. All right, well, that is all we have time for this week on Learning to Drum. This is week 38, episode 35, and thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we're going to be getting into some other things like our next solo, okay? So join us next week on Learning to Drum. I'm your host, Adam Tevlin, and always remember to keep swinging those sticks.